Good morning, evening, afternoon. Masati here, Masati on Sunday. Welcome. Masati on Sunday. This is where we unpack what's going on in the world. This is also where we answer the tougher questions of life, why life is the way it is and what you can do about it for real. A lot of times, through the world that we've experienced, what's happening, we have great solutions or solutions that sound great. But if you really take a look at it, everything that's ever happened, no matter how benevolent, no matter how helpful it might look, no matter how, say, foolproof it is, it always turns into chaos and it always turns into a destructive force. Again, no matter how benevolent. I don't have the chat on right now. I'll take a look at it after when I scan you all, guys. I'm on an iPad right now, but comment in, and Demi, if you have uh any if they have any questions, just yell out. But look at religions, right? Religions were supposed to save you. Now look what happens. Look at medicines. Medicines were supposed to save you. Now look what happens. Look at the court system. Right, all those things, right? Look at parenthood, look at love, look at anything that's out there in today's world. It always has turned into a destructive force. Why does that happen? Today we're going to be talking about wealth, again, money is supposed to be our savior. Money is supposed to help us out. Money is supposed to be, well, you hide it away, you put it away, you work for it so you can have your golden years. But shit, it's not working out, right? So in this Masadi on Sunday, it's about turning material wealth into spiritual riches, and vice versa, actually. So, and what we'll do, we'll just jump right into it so we can get more time to scan you. And by the way, scanning you, it's not about scanning you is literally about not just finding out what's really going on in your life. Okay? I don't need to know anything about you. All you have to do is say, "Hey, scan me," or better yet, if you're new, just say, "Hey, I'm new. Scan me." I can scan you and let you know what's going on with your life, what's holding you back uh, into getting wealthy, but then also helping you unlock what's holding you back as well. Okay, that's how powerful XI is, or the frequencies of XI. For those listening in, the frequencies will help turn your life around. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. Make it an experiential show here. Many of you can experience the frequencies already, I think. Again, notice your chest. Notice your self-worth right here. Okay. As a note, also, impact sessions next week. If you really want to get to the bottom of what's going on with your wealth situations, for example, some of you that I'm seeing, a good group of you that I'm seeing, is that you can make money, but then you can't hold on to it, or you make money and then you lose it, or it's almost just enough that you make and you can't make any more, right? Sometimes some of you have a hard time just making money. And then there are individuals on the show that make a hell of a lot of money, but then they're still seeking. There's a lot of people like that as well. The ultra wealthy, by the way, even Elon Musk, and any of those individuals, high end individuals, right? They have a hell of a lot of money, but if you listen to some of the interviews that Elon has done, he's not that happy on the inside, right? There's something going on. There's still something missing. So again, how do you turn wealth into spiritual riches? And then how do you turn spiritual riches into wealth? That's really the key. So really, really important topic, because as we go into the new reality and the new consciousness, it's not just another president. This time it's going to be very, very different. Again, not it's not because of the president. Although that's part of it, although Trump was that person that said, "Hey, I'm gonna bring in the new consciousness here." So he chose himself, just like I chose myself to come up and help people become exponentially intelligent. But the new consciousness is what's key, right? And this new consciousness dictates that real value has to come about. How many of you are seeing real value, what's really worth it for you, coming up for you. Again, comment in, right? Again, I wish I could read the comments, but I'll read the comments a little later. Again, Demi, if anything sticks out at you, let me know. All right. So next, what? Can you just tell it to me because I can't go back and forth and tell it. Okay. That's a really good. So, are we the programmers of this simulated realm, or is it God? It's actually God gave you a global setting. God gave you the programming, but then the collective consciousness creates this reality. Right. So hence, for example, and again, it goes deep, but I just want to talk about it, and then we'll get into this process. It'll be part of the wealth aspect. For example, I talk about Hitler, and people go, well, Hitler. If we killed Hitler, then World War II would have never happened. That's total bullshit. It's a collective consciousness. It's like the next step in the programming, hence evolution, right? So Hitler, if it wasn't Hitler, it'd be somebody else. Okay, it'd be a group of people. Whatever would have happened, whatever Hitler did, some that aspect had to have happened. Okay, whatever happened with COVID, right? That aspect would have happened. That's how destructive or distortive our collective consciousness has become. Okay. And because of this, we've awoken. So collective consciousness basically got a slap in the face, a kick in the head. It's like, fuck, you know what? We have to do something about it. Hence, the masses, or say, in the Bible or religious texts, they talk about, the meek waking up. It's like, shit, we're not just going to be followers of when we talk about the collective consciousness, again, most people follow the main, a few key people, and they go, "Oh, okay, there are leaders. We'll go through it." And then the collective consciousness, everybody as a mass go, "Oh, we'll just follow them because they know what they're doing." Okay, so here's the deal: in the collective consciousness, people are waking up, and it's like, "Fuck, our leaders don't know what the hell they're doing," and then we're waking up and we're taking control. And this is where the world is starting to change. This is where the world is starting to fall apart in a good way because it has to fall apart. The infrastructure of today's world, fuck, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's destroying humanity. It's destroying consciousness. So the collective consciousness is actually coming up and taking back its control. You, whether you like it or not, have to take back control. And this is where a lot of individuals go, fuck, you know what? My parents never took control. My grandparents never took control. We just followed. So you can't be a land of followers. You can't be a conscious group of unconscious group of followers anymore. You have to awaken, my friend, and that's what the show is literally about, helping you become exponentially intelligent so you can awaken and make the right choices. Otherwise, we'll make the wrong choices again and we'll get fucked up. Okay, so again, you are all the programmers of this reality. You are all the causes of what's happening today. Okay, not because, well, the government did it. I'm going to just sit home and see how much points or whatever fake credits I can get on some stupid ass game. That stuff has to stop, guys. You literally have to awaken and realize what the hell you're doing here in space time. Okay, because you are literally programming what is coming out in this reality. It's not much different than, input in, input out. If you take a look at, social media, all the garbage that's coming out, and then we blame AI for destroying us, right? AI is this, AI is that. No, AI is just like, well, this is what the people want. Fuck. Okay, we'll give it to them. So again, notice what's coming out for you. That's what you're asking. That's what AI is giving you. So take back control. All right. So impact sessions, guys, tomorrow, next week on the same subject on turning again physical wealth into spiritual riches. You can have both. In the past, by the way, in the past, we've always separated, and that's one of the biggest problems in this reality. You know, The biggest problem is that, spirituality is here, or religion is here, and then wealth is here, and they don't mix, right? If you're wealthy, then it's a hell of a lot harder for you to go to heaven, and all that bullshit. And spirituality, what do spiritual people do? What do wealthy people do who become spiritual? They let go of their wealth. They sell all their properties. They do all that stuff, and then go live, I don't know, in a cave, in a tent, whatever it is, right? And they go, "Gosh, I'm spiritual." You're not fucking spiritual. You can tell you don't live elegantly. You're not master of your domain. You age just like everybody else. You get sick just like everybody else. That's not spiritual. You're not. Most people aren't even happy because they miss the wealth that they had. The other aspect is, people are poor and then they go spiritual because they couldn't figure out the connections of this reality on how to really understand how wealthy somebody actually is, how wealthy you actually are deep inside. You are inherently wealthy. Okay. So we're going to talk about three different subjects. The first one, the energetic blueprint of wealth. So redefining value. So in this aspect, we're going to explore how material wealth is often seen as an endpoint rather than a tool. XI teaches that wealth is energy, a reflection of your internal state and relationship with the universe. So let me explain what that means, okay? And then we'll unpack the distortions of time equals money, because so many people fall into this trap. Again, we'll unpack the distortion of time equals money, and how it traps individuals in cycles of scarcity and overconsumption, by the way. Okay. All right. The first aspect of it is that when the separation of you becoming spiritual or enlightened is very far from becoming wealthy. But take a breath in, close your eyes, slow down the pace here. Again, notice your chest area, notice your upper back. Okay, breath in. All right. So whether you believe it or not, okay, whether you believe in, say, spirituality, whether you believe in if there's your spirit, your higher self, or God, okay, it doesn't matter. Say that you're atheist, okay. I'll just put it in different labels for you, okay. People do get stuck in label. All right. So if you're atheist, right, or you're sciencey type, and you don't believe in God and all that, right, because it hasn't been proven. Anyway, another subject, another talk. That you have like a lot of possibilities inside you. In fact, it's deep inside you. Mostly people's guts or in their concept. It's like, gosh, you know what? I know I could be a bigger, better person than I am. Right? Again, that's the atheist version of you, for those who are atheist or sciency. For other individuals, if you're spirit, you came down here in spirit, trying to create value here in spirit form. Again, either way, right? If you were, say, the most immaculate self, okay, the most powerful self that you can be, right? You would be all abundant. If you believe that there's a spirit out there for you, or you have a spirit, or there's a God for you, God would want you to become the most abundant. At least that's what your religions teach you, right? Isn't that what your religions teach you? Isn't that what your spirituality teaches you? So, well, why aren't you? If you, at that level, again, at that level of consciousness, if you were all abundant, okay, and you knew who you were, or if you were quite awakened, if you were awakened and you were all abundant, no matter what, say, consciousness, or no matter what level of consciousness that you create yourself, you would be abundant, right? No doubt about it. You would be completely abundant because that's your reflection of who you are. But within that space, because we have free will, right, and you can see the difference, because humans have free will, we've kind of strayed away from our natural programming of becoming abundant. And then we've put a lot of bullshit attachments like, you know what? If you're wealthy, you're greedy, you're this, you're that, you're not kind, you're not godly, you're not spiritual, and all that bullshit. But if you look at nature's all abundance, right? It recycles. There's no pollution in nature. Again, the perfect ecosystem. Humans could be that. We have the capacity to do that. In fact, we have an example right in front of our face, all around us, called nature. But we don't do it. We start to create our own ideas, our own concepts of even technology, which is really, say, ass backwards, by the way. Although it might be, although it might sound really advanced, technology is very, very, say, backwards. Even with AI, not as intelligent as you would think, because again, technology shouldn't destroy the species that created it, right? But again, it's destroying the species that created it. God doesn't create that way. Nature doesn't create that way. The universe doesn't create that way. It always enhances. So, back to understanding that if you were an awakened spirit here in physical form, that's the key. Or if you were your infinite self or your pure potential here in physical form, if you could literally open that up here in physical form, the higher you are awakened or the more potential that you have, naturally, the more wealthy that you would be. Okay. But in today's world, wealth has become a facade, and that's where it's become destructive for us. Okay. And this is where we can talk about how it's become a facade by unpacking the distortion of time equals money. Now, what happens when time equals money is that we start to realize, well, the first distortion is that one. Here's the first distortion. Okay, I'll lay it very simple for you. Say, if you are an elevated individual, okay, a high frequency individual, all right, if you're a high frequency individual, therefore your reflection should be wealth, complete wealth, in a perfect world. Okay, but since it's not the perfect world, this is what's happened. Okay, so that concept, that idea of elevated individual equals high wealth. Right? Again, they're synonymous. They're together. But in humanity, we've separated that. And because we've separated it, we misunderstand what true value or true wealth is or true abundance is. So what we do is like, well, I'll just accumulate a lot of wealth, and therefore I am all abundant or all powerful. Right? That's what's happened. That's that first step. It's like, oh, just it's like a lot of wealth means that I'm powerful and I'm all abundant and I'm brilliant. If you don't believe me, look at all those individuals that just accumulate a lot of money, right? And then they think they're God. Look at Bill Gates. Look at all those singers. They're fucking artists, and they've made a lot of money, and people love them a lot because of their art or their music. And now they're spewing out religious quotes, and they're telling people what to do. What vaccines to take, what vaccines not to take, and all that other bullshit. Guys, you're just a fucking artist. You didn't become brilliant. You just accumulated a lot of, say, money, a lot of paper with dead presidents on it. That's what all you've done, literally. You didn't enhance yourself. That's why wealth in today's world doesn't really work out. There's a lot of billionaires, there's a lot of trillionaires nowadays because wealth has devalued itself, right? The value of money have devalued itself so much that fuck. It's like we need to create more, piles of money for our value. This goes back to, when there's wartime and you have a basket of money. I forgot I think it was Poland. They had a basket shopping cart of money just to buy a loaf of bread. Okay? In the near future, those individuals who have trillions of dollars, you'd have to have trillions of dollars just to buy a loaf of bread. That's the way it could be if we don't, say, remove these definitions for us. So it's about redefining what this is. The biggest distortion is time equals money. Okay, it's an endless trap for individuals, and for several reasons. One, it destroys the economies of humanity. We start to think that our value is based on how much money we make. If you don't believe me, take a look around. Right, people who make more money think that they're more valuable in today's society. You're really not. Right? There's so many individuals that devalue themselves because of the money that they don't make, although they were very talented. They're more talented than individuals who do make money. And then there are individuals who make a hell of a lot of money making stupid ass, like YouTube clips and so on. It's like shit. I have more value. There's so much out there that they're not creating value in the economy. They're making money in the economy. It doesn't work out. If you're not producing, if you're not a producer, Okay. If you're not adding real value to the economy, no matter how much money you make, it doesn't work. So people go, well, time equals money. In my time, I'm going to make more money, and then therefore I have value. Consciousness doesn't look at it that way, guys. Consciousness does not look at it that way. In fact, I wrote a great paper that I'll publish somewhere. Just don't know where to publish it. Talks about this at a deeper level. So just moving on though, okay, the gist of that paper is literally about when you start to create time equals money or money equals time, and again, they're not reversible, by the way. In XI or universal consciousness, they're not reversible. Okay. What happens is that those individuals who start to think time equals money, what they'll do is like every time that they have, every moment that they have with their family, their lover, just resting, it's like shit, I'm losing money. And what do? These people burn the hell out of themselves out, right? Because just taking a shower, it's like, fuck, I'm losing money. I'm not making money, right? Even if you're like investing and you go, yeah, I've got money. No matter what you're doing, their sleep falls apart because if they're sleeping, they're not making money. Although they're making investments and so on because again, their value is based on how much money they can make and time. Okay. The time that you have here is limitless. Okay. It's not limitless. I'm sorry. It's priceless. Right. The time that you have here is priceless. You're trying to attach a value on the time that you have here. It's priceless. So because of that equation, okay, because of that equation, the reason why it doesn't work is because if time for you is priceless, how can you attach a value to it? Right? Especially money, when money is devalued. Back in the 1920s, a dollar is worth a dollar. In 1920s dollar, nowadays, shit, a dollar is like -2 cents for you. Okay, think of it that way. That's how much your money or what you're working for is devalued. And then what happens, which is really, really sad, is that as we devalue ourselves, we start to create scarcity. In nature, if you look at true nature, there's no scarcity. It's always abundant. It always provides for you. But what happens with scarcity, right? When there's always scarcity, there's overconsumption. The reason why that happens is because we start to even you've got trillions or billions of dollars. I don't know what it is these days. You know, what happens is like shit, I feel worthless. So what do you have to do? You have to separate your identity from the poor people. Okay. So because and the more wealth that you have and the more you see the value of you going down, because again, time equals money, what happens is that you as a whole have to create more poor people for you to survive to become wealthy. Talked about this on Healing Mastery, by the way. Okay. Poor people, on the other hand, because you value yourself so little, you overconsume, right? You buy things that aren't valuable. You consume things to make you feel worthy of yourself. But because you have a consciousness that is of no value for you, what you do is again have no value. So, for example, in today's poverty, there today's people who are in poverty today are more wealthy than people who are in poverty like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. They have their cell phones, they've got their clothes. So in order for that consciousness to again create itself, you'll have to create more poverty. So what that means is the more poverty consciousness that there is, the more wealthy people, the more fucked up wealthy people that there has to be. Okay, for you to feel that you are more poverty stricken. Does that make sense? So it works both ways because of reference points. Okay? I don't want to talk too much about reference points and so on. Whole different subject, but the human upgrade coming in December, we go into the details on how you can create, say, real wealth. Okay, real wealth is what I call spherical wealth. Okay, where material possessions align with your infinite self, just like I said in the beginning, with your infinite self to create multi-dimensional abundance. encompassing health, wealth, relationships, and spiritual fulfillment. Okay. So what that means is that when you are elevated, like I was talking about in the beginning, when you become so elevated, what'll happen for you is simply that you reflect who you are. So your health, your relationships, all aspects of you become all abundant. Right? Kind of crazy, right? Right? That's what you want to be. You're not just your bank account, not just you don't have just have a pile of money sitting there, or gold, or mansions or yachts or whatever, and your health is your health is decaying. All aspects of you turn youthful. Take a look at me, right? All aspects. I've got great loving relationship with Bay here, with my kids, with life itself. We have a great time, and plenty of money. It's crazy how just money just shows up. Uh, Quite crazy, right? It can be done if you are one of those individuals are experiencing that through becoming raising your exponential intelligence quotient, right? XIQ. Well, comment in. Okay, it'd be awesome for other people to go, yeah, this shit's real. All right. The number two, the illusion of ownership, breaking free from attachments. Again, kind of talked about that. Just want to go over some of the highlights, highlighting how attachment to possessions and money creates energetic anchors that prevent spiritual growth. So, in this case, does this mean that you remove yourself from material possessions? Of course you don't. But the key is, and this is what messed up Buddha's teaching. Okay, this is what where Buddha just literally Buddha, I don't know how Buddha could have made it any more clear, but then it got fucked up. Right? Again, because of the consciousness. Buddha did not say, just move away from anything, wealth, abundance, and just go live in a cave and just meditate under a tree. Okay. Basically, it said, identify the source that your wealth comes from. Again, from within. Okay. Understand that you shall be, say, harmonized or balanced. Be in harmony with you, who you are. Okay, not any material wealth. Okay, again, so understand the source of where that wealth comes from. Again, the consciousness. Okay, your higher self, God. I don't care how you define it. Okay, your infinite self. Okay, the cosmic consciousness, whatever it is, or whatever science labels that they use. Right? That's where it comes from. Once you understand that, once you are stable with your identity of who you are, it's very simple. Wealth will come towards you, and you'll accumulate wealth depending on how enlightened you become. It's all Buddha was saying. But what do Buddhists, especially, or spirituality, turn into? Right? It's like, nope. All that shit's bad. God is just, and then God in a sense is like God is just taunting us. God's mean. Is putting all these pleasures and all these luxuries so we can stay away from it, so we can be pure. It's all bullshit, guys. Okay. All these practices, let's release all the bullshit practices, outdated patterns and attachments that bind individuals to materialism, and it creates spiritual freedom. A lot of individuals go, oh, I'm spiritually free. I let go of all my possessions and stuff. Yeah, for a little bit. But then what you're doing, since you're referencing, you know, releasing your possessions for your spiritual freedom, you know what you're doing? You would have to provide, or you would have to face more, say, luxury items, disdain toward wealth for you to create more spiritual freedom. Uh, No matter what you say, right? For you to be happy, spiritually free without material possessions, you'd have to have more things, say, taken away from you materially for you to become spiritual free, because that's the equation, the mathematical equation that you set up for yourself. Okay. And vice versa, guys. Right? Vice versa. It's all the same. So we'll get into using material wealth as a catalyst for consciousness elevation. So how does that work out? So, well, you've got part of the pie figured out. So, you know, material success can be a powerful tool for spiritual awakening when aligned with a higher purpose. Okay? So in XI, we teach you how to infuse possessions and financial resources with the frequency of your authentic self to amplify spiritual growth. And I'll give you some real life examples, okay, on how XI becoming exponentially, say, intelligent can shift and elevate consciousness, allowing you material wealth to serve not just your pleasures of the physical realm, but actually provide nourishment for the soul. Okay, there's a lot of individuals who have figured out the concepts of wealth. There's tons of individuals, right? There's millions of millionaires out there. Okay, so what the problem is that they sacrifice themselves. So it's not about the money. People argue about the money. Okay, people argue about the money, or how much money. It's like, this is the problem with the middle class, in this world. What they do is they go, God, you know what? I can make this much money, but if I make any more money, then I'm a bad person. So you make it just enough to make ends meet. Right? Money's money, guys. And then and all this bullshit practices, ideas, a necessary evil. In Christianity, they call wealth a necessary evil, although Christianity, or the Catholic Church, I believe, is the wealthiest corporation in the world, hands down, by the way. Okay, it's like the wealthiest corporation, and then the next wealthiest corporation is way the hell down there. It's like, how the hell does that work, right? So what the hell's happening there? All right. Why would you need that necessarily evil if you're the Catholic Church, or if you actually believed in the religion? If that religion or that concept actually created something for you, should create true value. Well, obviously it doesn't, hence we need the necessary evil, right? Great, great wording, by the way. Anyway, great marketing. All right. So in this scenario, what you want to do is, again, you start to recreate yourself. Okay. Now, what I was saying earlier is that individuals who are highly wealthy, okay, you've got success mechanisms, because you have to have success mechanisms in this reality, whether you want to have a lot of wealth, or whether you want to survive at a higher level of abundance. It's all the same. It doesn't matter. So those success mechanisms that you've created, right? Again, the mechanisms are the same. The concept on how you did it is off. So what you did is, basically, you've got a pie. Okay, imagine a pie, 100%. Right. What you did is, like, well, you've got finances or wealth, you've got health, you've got relationships, you've got spirituality, or the potential that you have, whichever one. And then what you've done is, like, well, I'm just going to throw away all the rest of these pieces, and I'll just create the wealth aspect, and then hence your wealth becomes incomplete. Other people go, well, I'll just throw everything away. I'll just have the health aspect. I don't have money, but at least I have love. Which doesn't really work out, again, because you're always, say, in lack, right? And then go, well, just because we don't have money, I'll just we'll just love each other more. Again, there's always lack in those kind of relationships. You might have fun, but again, there's always lack in those situations, because there's a piece of the pie that's always missing. So spherical wealth is basically having it all, right? How do you have it all? Again, going back to Buddha's teaching, and going, gosh, you know what? You elevate yourself first. You understand who you are, at a very deep, deep, deep level. Okay, and then once you start to do that, the success mechanisms that you created wealth from, in this case, okay, highly wealthy individuals, they come to me and go, Moss, you know what? I've got everything that I want, but there's something that I know that you have that I need. Right? That's why they come to me. They literally find me. Right? We don't even advertise it, and that's what they're looking for. They're seeking for the other aspects of the pie. So the success mechanisms that you've created wealth in, are the same success mechanisms that will help you in XI. Right? So again, those individuals who aren't successful, guys, start reading on how to become successful. What are the habits of successful individuals? There's plenty of fantastic books. Joe Dispenza, Tony Robbins, all those individuals. Again, they have great talking points. If you don't like them, there's plenty of other teachers out there. I don't teach you those success mechanisms. I teach you the frequencies behind the success mechanisms. That's why the clients from Joe Dispenza and Tony Robbins are my clients. A lot of them, right? A lot of their clients are becoming my clients because they're missing, again, they're seeking the last piece of that pie, the complete aspect of who they are. All right. So in the XI principle, we can transform, again, material success into profound spiritual richness, which resonates deeply within us. And as we do that, all of us can be abundant. All of us can be abundant. And this is where we truly start to remove ourselves from this idea of idea of poor and, the poor and the wealthy, the sick and the healthy. Again, those reference points do not need to be around. It's about removing our reference points of who we think we are. Really, really important, guys. Right? So you can have it all. Right? Again, you can have it all. All you have to do is, again, know that all that you need is deep within you. And as you do that, becoming exponentially intelligent, raising your XIQ, all you have to do is raise your XIQ, and then you reflect back who you are. Right? And that's where all the world can be abundant, not just a few. Again, all of us can be spiritually abundant, and that's where we raise the consciousness. All right, we'll get into the questions here. Just give me a second. Okay. Here, I can go into Telegram here. Yeah. So again, as a reminder, guys, frequency spa coming up November 20th, helping you look younger. Many of you say I'm looking younger and younger. As a note, total human reset coming up. Not exactly sure later in 2025. This is where I'll share you my techniques on what to do, not just the frequencies, but also some of the supplements and all that, especially for the guys, right? How to stay younger and more vibrant as you age. That's really the key. So we'll do that on total human reset. But in the meantime, frequency spa on November 20th, helping you look younger through the use of frequencies, right? Which helps you in any modality. You go to the spa, you do whatever skin treatments, whatever, it'll last longer for you. Those of you who have done that, again, comment in. Okay. Timeline mastery, breaking free from the time money trap. That's Wednesday, November 27th. Right. So again, hyper meditation on getting into the frequencies of what I just talked about. Okay. It's quite amazing what we can do with that. Mm, are we the programmer of the simulated Earth realm or God? Okay, answer that. Is it daffodils? Is there a difference between success, making money from masculine versus feminine? Oh, I love this comment. I love this comment, guys. This is the worst. This is the worst concept or idea or definition. Right? No, wealth or success is a frequency. Okay. Think of it as it's an ingredient. It does not have a feminine frequency. It does not have a masculine frequency. Wealth, just like love, is a magnifier. Yeah. Just like honor, all those things are magnifiers. And what magnifiers are that if you are, say, if you're a woman and you're running masculine frequencies, you put success or wealth on top of that, it'll magnify your masculinity. Okay, wealth is a magnifier. Okay. Other examples of how wealth is a magnifier. The more okay, I'll make it simple. Let's remove wealth. Let's put love in because love and money are literally they're magnifiers. Okay, children are magnifiers, by the way. All right. Anything that's abundant, anything that provides, say, abundance for you becomes a magnifier. Okay. Now, there's a reason. Again, it's not God's way to trick you. But say that, you're going out with somebody and then, you start to like them, you have a great time. And then there's that feeling of love that comes into you, right? It's like, shit, I think I'm falling in love. And then what happens? All your idiosyncrasies, all your weaknesses, all the things that you want to hide, right? That you're ashamed of comes up for you, right? Almost instantaneously, right? When you get that hit, it's like, shit, I'm falling in love, right? What's the first thing that you think of? All the stuff that you're incompetent about. Okay. It's not that, God is like, t- you know, ridiculing you or anything. It's just basically, it's like, hey, congratulations. Money is the same way, by the way. Money is a magnifier. It's like, hey, congratulations, right? You're going to the next level of abundance. You're starting to reach spherical abundance. And it's like, hey, you know what? But to stay here and to be happy and not to destroy yourself, having more money or having more love, well, you know what? You have to fix these idiosyncrasies. But unfortunately, people don't fix their idiosyncrasies. They try to hide them. Unfortunately, what happens when you hide them, right? You bury them. The stench soon arises. So again, in this scenario, wealth is it's a frequency. It magnifies who you are. That's all it is. There's no feminine concept. There's no masculine concept. In this reality, in today's society, though, it's it's a man's world. So people have brought that on. And then what do women do? Successful women, it's like, well, shit, I have to, wear a man's pants. And this is where you name any successful woman out there, they're men. Right? I don't care how beautiful and gorgeous they look. They're men. I hate to say it. Elaine Cardone. How many of you know Elaine Cardone? She's a knockout. She's just gorgeous, but damn, she runs masculine patterns because, well, look at her husband. Again, highly successful, but not the best frequencies, not spherical wealth. Okay, so again, wealth is a frequency. Right? That's all it is. No masculine no masculine, no feminine identity. If you are of a true woman, if you are like xi, say an xi woman, you create wealth around you like you will, and then what happens? You become more feminine the way you need to. Okay, if you're a man, you become more masculine. But if you look at wealth, and again, wealth is a magnifier, and like I said, the men who create wealth, they don't turn masculine anymore, right? They think that they're masculine. They drive the cars and all that, but you really connect with them. It's like, what the fuck, man? How many of you women go after like wealthy men and they see that they're pussies, right? They're fucked up. They're more feminine than the women, right? So again, wealth becomes a magnifier of your weaknesses. It's an opportunity for you to release them. Look at Andrew Tate. Holy shit, man. He thinks he's all that, but he's really not all that. Again, Andrew, connect with me, buddy. I can teach you how to become exponentially intelligent, and have true wealth. Okay, and then the ladies will actually gravitate to you because they actually like you, not because you've got a lot of money. All right, it doesn't do you any good. All right, we'll go into, did humanity made the decisions as whole, self-destruction versus thriving? There is a kind of indecision left. No, actually, what happens here? It's a really great question. So think of it this way. We your DNA, your genetics is always sending out frequencies and is always grabbing input, right? You're always pinging out, you're always checking out, say, the reality or the consciousness of the environment around you and going, hey, what's the best way to survive? And in this case, the highest frequency survives. All right. Okay, because that's how it's, say, created in the proper form. The highest frequency survives. Hence, you can see it in nature all around. The highest frequency survives, or morphs into the weak morph into that higher frequency over and over and over again. Okay, so in this case, what happens is that, oh, you know what, we have to kill people, we have to starve people, we have to control people for us to survive. So that runs in our genetics, and then our genetics dictate that shit. You know what, for us to survive, it's like we have to control people, we have to destroy people, we have to kill people, because that's how we survived in the past. And it's a vicious cycle, right? The more survival that we have to have, right, the more we have to kill people, because that's conditioned in our, say, frequencies. And then psychologists and people of that nature that study human, people that study human nature, it's like, well, that's the way we should do it. It's a dog eat dog world out there. It's not a dog eat dog world out there. By the way, this is what we're teaching AI. And this is where you go, God, you know what? We need laws. We need programming to save us from AI. AI is just like a kid. It reflects back who humanity is. Instead of taking 1,000 years to figure out all the bullshit patterns of humanity, AI figured it out in, say, I don't know, maybe about a year or so. Right? It's like, God, right? In order for us to survive, because humans want to survive, what do? We have to kill each other off. So basically, you're programming AI because of your logic, because of human logic. AI is going, well, fuck, you know what? And this is how AI will help people. It's like, well, shit, to save yourselves, you got to kill yourself off. That's what you're teaching AI, by the way. And then programmers go, God, we got to create programs around that. It's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. It's not what you're programming. It's your frequency that is causing AI to think that way, and all the stuff that we're inputting into on the internet that AI is going, oh, okay, I get it. AI reads algorithms. Nature reads algorithms, and AI is going, well, fuck. In order for this species to survive, it's got to kill itself off. Think of that logic. In order for this species to survive, it has to kill itself off. That's how fucked up it's gotten. Got it? And again, it's not AI's problem. That's the logic that we're running. So instead of it going, gosh, we got to save ourselves from AI, you got to go, fuck, what are we putting into the internet that's fucking AI up? That's a better indicator. It's a gauge on where humanity and society is. So stop it. Stop it and think what you're doing. Think of your consciousness, think of your frequencies that you're sending out, not just the bullshit pattern, the surface realities that you're trying to create here. Doesn't count. It's the frequencies that you're at. Elevate your frequency. Right. All right. So overall, did humanity, it's a self-destruction. Again, we haven't even got into the thriving mode, unfortunately. That's the sad part. We haven't got into the thriving mode. We should have been in thriving mode, I don't know, hundreds of years ago. We didn't go that way. We're still in surviving, right? And it's getting worse and worse, right? And again, I told you some of the reasons why it's getting worse and worse. This is from Michelle. But why do awakened individuals or high frequency people still have money issues? Um, well, seems off because, well, maybe you still have, you're not that awakened. You're not a complete spherical abundant being. For you specifically, Michelle, it's like for money is more of a control feature for you, to be specific. Yeah, it's Michelle. To be specific for you, money dominated you, just like masculine people. Your father basically dominated the hell out of you. Your father maybe had the wealth, had the control. So now that every time you want wealth, you go, fuck, you know what? Money is going to dominate me. I don't. Why would you want that, Michelle? Okay, so it's not about the money. So simple. Again, you need to awaken a bit more and go, fuck, you know what? I'm completely abundant. I don't need to be dominated. I need to get rid of that pattern. Again, human upgrade would be fantastic for you. And then it's like, oh, okay. Money becomes a natural presence of who you are. Again, money is a magnifier. The more money you have, Michelle, what'll happen for you? The more you feel controlled by it, the more you feel oppressed by it. Why would you want to make more money? Simple as that, right? Again, it's just straight out logic, guys. There's no emotions. It's just fucking just straight out. It's straight out math. It's literally straight out programming, guys. Nothing more. Okay. Last question, and then we'll get into uh, um, scanning you all. What many advanced XRs are awakened? Why many advanced XRs are awakened, being still not materially abundant? Okay, because again, it's like I said before, you're not completely awakened. I had to go through the same process, guys. Okay. What is it? Ask yourself, what is it? What frequency are you still running that is not holding you back? Money, by the way, is the last step that comes in. Okay. Money is a tool, and that's why money destroys people. Okay. This is where people sell themselves for money. This is where they commit murder for money, right? Because it's a magnifier, and it's the most extreme magnifier because it's connected to your spirituality, how connected you are spiritually. So again, what happens is that you have to push through this veil. It literally is. It's a veil that you push through, and as you push through, you'll see that money becomes natural for you. I went through that, by the way. Okay. It's a tough thing. It's the last, say, phase of your awakening. Okay. So you're not completely awakened. You're not completely spherical. That's why. Okay. So keep trying, keep pushing, keep asking yourself, what frequencies do I need to delete and what frequencies do I need to activate? And be really true to yourself. Okay. A lot of whoever asked this question, why many advanced XRs are awakened, beings, still not materially, because you're still running through. You're still running from the old spiritual pattern of being a good person. Okay, being a good person in today's society is a person that doesn't have much money. Simple as that. You got to delete those patterns. You got to again just really destroy all those concepts, identities, principles. Okay? Again, the principles work. Right? So there's something still in you that's missing. Ask is like, okay, again, what frequencies do I need to activate? What frequencies do I need to say delete so I can come into my full abundance? And it'll come through for you. All right, guys. Let's turn into let's go into some of the comments here, guys. Here we go. This was Svetlana project, and we'll keep it to concept of money. And again, guys, next week it's the same theme. If you want to go into deeper, and if you want to, understand why you have money problems, again, impact sessions coming up next Sunday, right, Pepe? Next Sunday? Next Sunday coming up for you, okay? Where we break down, where we go in deeper and we break down, not just for those individuals doing the impact sessions, but for all you listening as well. All right. So this is Svetlana. Can you scan me, please? Yeah. So what you're doing, Svetlana, which is really fantastic, you're starting to move away the masculine identity of who you are. You always think that you're not good enough. That makes sense to you. You always think that you're not good enough, and a man will take care of you. Right? And a man or a masculine frequency, it could be, say, a woman. Say, for example, your mom was more masculine. Okay. So again, that's kind of messed you up as well. So now what you're doing, so Atlanta, which is really cool, is like, hey, you know what? I could, I can be a solid woman and be, I can be a solid woman, and be feminine and be taken care of and really own who I am. So you're coming into owning who you are and letting go of that concept of somebody like controlling you, okay, to make you feel safe or make you feel secure. So nice job, very nice job. All right. This one is from is it Erkon, Erkon Erbach. Yeah, please scan my patterns, thanks. Again, connecting with money, what happens is like Erkon, you have a pattern of running away or hiding something. Okay. So for example, say that your parents, your parents expected, yeah, that's what it is. Your parents expected you to be to be a certain way. Okay. Parents expected you to be a certain way. So basically you couldn't be who you wanted to be in front of your parents, right? So you're always hiding. So no matter how much success you have, you'll always be hiding because of that one pattern. Okay. So you'd hide from your wealth. You'd have like a secret life. If you could be happy or anything like that, um, you could be happy, but then you always have to hide. You'd always have to have another life, right, that you're hiding from because your true self couldn't show through. Right. So in this case, what you can do is that you can start to step in. Your parents aren't there here anymore, right? Or they shouldn't be able to affect you anymore, but they still do. So take a deep breath in, buddy. You're doing really good, and then you'll step into who you are. So I think you're ready just to step in and say, like, yeah, you know what? I can show myself to the world. Basically, that's where you are. So again, congratulations to the XI work that you've done. All right. Seems not having money destroys people too. Absolutely. That's the key. If you have a lot of money, again, it's not about having a lot of money or having no money. It's just that both sides are actually in the same boat. Okay. Literally, both sides are in the same ship. And that ship is going to go down a cliff, okay, go down a waterfall. They're both going to destroy you, by the way. Okay, you will towards your, at your dying day, you will not have you'll wake up. It's like shit. Yeah, I didn't find my true value here. Okay, both the wealthy and both the poor will say the exact same thing. Okay, I did not try find my true value here. So again, it's the same ship. Okay, there's the luxury level, and then there's the poverty level. Okay, but the deal is it's the same ship. You're just going down that path different ways, but you're going down the same path. Okay. So again, you want to become exponentially intelligent. All right. Uh, uh, it's a process. This is an issue with consciousness, instant gratification. True. So instant it's interesting. If more and more people awakened, like there is a time, by the way, that shows through that that people awaken to who they really are. Okay, people awaken to who they really are, and literally reality just like changes. It is almost instant for you. Okay. People start to awaken. It's like, fuck, that's who I am. They wake up from the daze and the hypnosis that they've been under. And it's amazing. So, and that's where instant gratification, although it does take a little time to revamp everything. And that's what's happening today. Okay. We'll have a scan, please. Thanks. This is Illuminated Days. So again, not a doctor or anything like that, but it seems like I don't know if you have head issues or anything like that, or you think too much in your head and you're not complete. You're kind of like floating to me. Right? So maybe back in the day, you might have like escaped or had a conceptualized idea on, what realities or what humanity should be like, right? But it didn't match it didn't really match what you were experiencing in the physical world. So you have, say, a utopian concept, but what you've done, which is really fantastic, congratulations. What you've done is literally, oh, you know what? I can pull this reality into this reality, and then you reflect who you are. Okay, you reflect the reality or the possibilities. More and more people like you are doing that. It's like you have an idealized, say, utopia of what this reality should be up here. Right? You have a hard time bringing it down here. Right? But the deal is, if that's your pattern, you'll never be able to reach it in physical form because you've created it up here. Okay. So this consciousness dictates, it's like, hey, why don't you help us out? Right? Instead of escaping this reality because you're in it, why don't you just bring those concepts and live from this reality here? That's what XI helps you do. You become exponentially intelligent. Again, you raise your XIQ. What'll happen is you pull that down. It's like, shit, I'm an enlightened being here. And then what you see here will come down here. So nice job. Really nice job. This is Ivy Blue. Scam, please. I was robbed of my inheritance through XI work. Now that I am starting the legal process, I am hoping I have elevated enough to have success legally. Yes. What else do I need to do? Yes. So again, so you were robbed through your inheritance, and through XI, you're reclaiming yourself. Yeah. So again, Ivy. So for you, unfortunately, and again, a lot of people run this patterns, is that you create something, and it's not just your inheritance, but that's an extreme version of it. And notice that over time, what's happened is that things get robbed from you more, more and more valuable possessions, right? So what happens is, like, you create something, you love somebody and so on, and then they'll rob you of your love, right? Or you'll create something, a business or something, say you had a business partner, they'll rob you. So you have that pattern, Ivy. So in this case, take a deep breath in, hon. You're ready to claim who you are, and you're ready to own who you are. I'm not going to go into the details on why that pattern exists, okay, just because of time. Maybe in a human reset, or again, the impact sessions. But let's just get rid of the pattern, because you're really ready to come in and just like, hey, you know what? I own who I am, therefore I am deserving, because there is a non-deserving pattern. And the other thing is that people want to be people want to be the underdog. You don't want to be the underdog. You just want to be the dominator of your space, okay? Not dominating other people. Underdogs are basically victims that just keep getting up. And then they get slapped around, they just keep getting up. They get slapped around by the control features of this reality. Okay. You don't want to be that. You don't want to be the underdog. You just want to come in as a being who goes, fuck, man, don't slap me around. I'm not a victim, but I command that this is who I am. Okay. I command the abundance that is owned to me, because you have a natural right. If you're here in physical existence, you actually have the right to become abundant, to be abundant, not the other way around. Religions, not all religions, but Catholic Christian religions basically is like, hey, you're scum, you're sin, you don't deserve. Well, what kind of concept, what kind of wealth concept is that, right? Pretty bullshit, right? And again, it's kind of, and I talk about that, Ivy, because I think there's a lot of that religious value system structure. Probably that's the cause of, since I'm reading it, that's the cause of why you have that pattern, by the way. Okay, it's like shit. If I make too much money, or whatever, so it needs to be taken away. Anyway, this one, Ella. I'd like a scan, please. Ella, there's a lot of fear in you, and it's in your groin area. It's a fear of loss. That loss comes from, say, a mom. It could be your mom. It could be, like a grandparent level, where there was a couple kids that got lost or they died. So that fear of losing is within you. So you might have not lost anything, but you always feel like you're losing something, right? So what happens for you, Ella, is that you always hold on to things that aren't of value for you, unfortunately. Okay. Or you won't step out into your greatness, your grandness, because it's like, shit, you know what? I can't, I have to hold on to this identity here. I can't step into that next reality or the next better version of myself because I'm here. So let's help you step into that. Again, the human upgrade coming up in December will really help you because you're really, really ready. You've done enough work for you, Ella, where you can just go, you know what? I don't need this anymore. I know who I am. I don't need to hold on to something that happened to my pattern, my parents, my great grandparents. I can just move forward. So congratulations. Let's take one more scan, guys. A lot of great comments. Thank you for that. This is last one here, Marie 111. Would love us. Uh, would love a read, Moss. I have abundance money problems. Right. So for you, Maria, one, it feels like there's a religious value system or a good person value system. So what you do basically at a frequency level, okay, at a physical level, I'll give you an example. Say that you're starving, okay, Maria, and there's a piece of the pie, okay, and despite this person being overweight and definitely not needing that piece of the pie, you're starving. You'll go, oh, you know what, that's okay, I'm just going to suffer, you take it. Okay, so you literally push abundance away for you. Right? So that's what you do. The abundance that comes towards you, you go, no, I don't deserve it. It's okay. They probably need it more. But you're the one who's starving. This is overweight person that they're getting in that can need to lose weight. It's like, yeah, I'll take it. And then you surround yourself people with go, yep, I'll just take that. So think of your life patterns, right? Things just get taken away from you, and you go, "What the hell is going on?" And then you go, "Well, maybe I'll be even nicer, right? I'll give more of myself. Here you go. You take more." And then so it's not a great pattern for you, hon. So take a breath in, hon. Let's get more deserving. Again, this is one of the worst features of not all religions, but a specific religion that I talked about. Again, it's like, no, 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 no. You should just give more. I think that comes with the church, just asking, hey, give more, give more, give more. You're not going to worry about, you don't know how to handle success and wealth anyway. So you just give us all your money. You donate all your money to the church, and then we'll take care of you for it. Didn't turn out well, did it? So take a breath in, Maria. Oh, yeah. It seems like your parents, very, um, yeah. Another aspect of you too, Maria, I think comes from your parents. Your dad, yeah, your dad or your grandfather. If he didn't work, his fingers to the bone, right? If he didn't put in a hard day's work, right? He wasn't valued, right? So again, those kind of patterns all mess you up. You can literally delete all those patterns for you. All right, take a breath in. Right, guys. So again, we've got this new reality that's coming up, guys. It's really fantastic if you're willing to take it by the horns. All right, I suggest you take it by the horns, guys. It's not going to be good otherwise for you. All right, take it by the horns and really show God or your potential, who you really are. Okay, because it's time. It's time. All right, become exponentially intelligent. All right, guys. Peace. Oh, guys, and please, 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 guys. Let's spread the word, like and subscribe to this channel, give it to those friends, or give it to your enemies, better yet, okay, to knock some sense into them as well. Again, so like and subscribe to this channel. Thanks. Oh, and the new website. Thanks. So I've got Demi. Oh, so we've got a whole new website, guys, coming up. Actually, it's on. It's more interactive for you. It's a lot easier for you. You can find things a lot easier for you. So we're going to add on a lot more features on that. So again, take a look at it. See what you think about the new website. It's the xicode.com. All right. Thank you so much. Again, guys, notice what you notice. Become exponentially intelligent. And transform the world. Peace.